Hello, Pastor Charlie here. 2020 has been one challenging and unforgettable year. But I'm proud of the way Johns Creek United Methodist Church has pivoted its ministry and responded. One of the key lessons we've learned during this pandemic is that the church is not a building. It's a community of people committed to being the hands and feet of Christ in this world. I'd like to take just a few minutes and answer some frequently asked questions we've received, and I hope this time helps you stay informed and connected to your church. One of the questions that I receive quite a lot from people during this pandemic is, how has the church adjusted its ministry during this crazy time? In other words, what has the church been up to? Well, I can honestly tell you that the church has been more active than ever. First of all, our remote worship has been quite a blessing to many people. We've offered that every week, and it's kept people nurtured and fed spiritually. In fact, our weekly worship attendance has increased dramatically over the last several months because of remote worship. It seems more and more people are being exposed to our church and its ministry. Of course, we've offered outside worship too, which has been a blessing to many people and will continue to do that. And during the week, you may have noticed, if you're active on Facebook, that we've taken advantage of Facebook by staying connected more and more with you. We offer live prayer times and devotional videos and interactive and engaging posts. We've been intentional about staying connected with you through social media, and I know it's been helpful to many people. Now, small groups and Sunday school classes and youth and children's ministries and our committees and our staff and clergy have continued to meet using Zoom technology. Now, there's a word we use a lot, Zoom. And Zoom has been very helpful to keep us connected and keep our ministries going. In fact, some of our groups, though, have been meeting outside, which has been helpful to them. And recently, a few small groups have been meeting inside the church building as well, and more groups plan to do that. You also need to know that we've continued to serve our community, both near and far, by donating Umpqua flood buckets and knitting prayer shawls and serving in the Trinity soup kitchen and delivering hot meals to those in need and collecting jump ropes for kids and personal hygiene products and donating to Norcross Co-op. The list goes on and on and on. Our preschool is now open too, if you didn't know that. Our kindergartners were the first to meet in class, and now our 4s are back. And in November, our 3s will be back as well. Our preschool has worked very, very hard, putting together safety protocols to keep our kids safe. Recreation has also opened up too with fall soccer. Clearly, Johns Creek United Methodist Church has remained faithful during this pandemic, and we thank you for your prayers and support. Another question I get quite a lot, especially recently, is, Charlie, when will we be back in the sanctuary again? I understand it. Well, good news. Beginning November 1st, we will offer inside the sanctuary worship each week at 8:45 a.m. But for those of you who aren't yet ready to go inside, we'll continue to offer outside worship at 11 a.m. Now, please, again, we need you to register for both of these services and also to abide by the safety protocols. But for those of you who aren't ready to do any kind of in-person worship, be assured we'll continue to offer remote worship as well. Here's another question I've been getting recently. Charlie, when can small groups begin meeting inside again? Well, you may know that some small groups are already meeting inside. Small groups are now welcome to meet inside the church building as long as they abide by safety protocols. You can call Dawn in the church office to get more details about that and to schedule your group. Another great question I get quite a lot during the pandemic is, how is our church doing financially? It's a great question. Well, despite the pandemic and its effect on our income, we've been able to maintain healthy giving and are on budget with our weekly offerings. In fact, our year-to-date giving is slightly ahead of last year's year-to-date giving through September. We've also been able to keep our expenses under budget and in line with our income. Now, it's very important for you to know that our church has cash reserves to weather this storm. Now, considering our circumstances, we are doing well, and this is because of your faithfulness and generosity. We're extremely grateful for your devotion to this church. Another question I've been getting recently is, Charlie, when is our annual Stewardship Campaign happening? I'm glad you asked. Beginning this Sunday, October 25th, we will kick off our annual Stewardship Campaign. Our Stewardship Committee has been hard at work putting together this year's campaign, helping us sow seeds of hope. Now, we strongly encourage you to turn in your pledge as soon as you can. In fact, we encourage you, if you're able, to increase your pledge from last year. We want to have a vibrant and a hopeful 2021. Now, if you've already turned in your pledge, we thank you so much for your support. We are grateful to God and the unwavering support of our church as we weather this storm and remain faithful.